Now, earlier this week, we told you that Viktor Gyökeres was given additional time off as he attempted to finalise his move to Arsenal. Well, he was scheduled to return to train today at Sporting Club in Portugal. So, did that happen? Well, let's head to David Noble in Portugal for the very latest. David, I guess that's the key question. Any sign of Viktor Gyökeres at training today?
Hello, good afternoon. No sign of Gyökeres today, and I think there is not going to be any sign of him tomorrow. He was expected, or at least Sporting expected Gyökeres to arrive today, at least to sleep in Lisbon, so that he can be tomorrow at the breakfast with the other players. Sporting travels tomorrow to the south of the country, to Algarve, to make some trainings in some friendly games. But Gyökeres already informed Sporting that he's not going to show up neither today, neither tomorrow. So that's where things are now, unless things change suddenly, and we don't believe in that here in Portugal. I think not even Sporting believes that the player is going to change his mind. So no sign of him, and I think he's not going to return in the next couple of days. So things are going to be really tense now. Because he has a contract, he has to show up to training, it's his work, but the player's decision, maybe advised by the agents, is not to return to training.
OK, so do you sense there are more gears here, David? I mean, already we've got the situation, the tense situation, as you very accurately referred to it, between him and his club. And we know the powers that be at Sporting Club in Portugal, but also, you know, that Arsenal are keen and they're waiting. How hard do you sense he's going to push to get this move?
I think the player is going to push until the limit, the maximum. Gyökeres only wants Arsenal. That's his biggest dream, to play for Arsenal, for a Premier League club, to play Champions League. That's what Gyökeres wants. But the truth is, we were expecting that the deal could be done by now, since the difference is really small in terms of money. But that's more than that. That's about. It's more about the things that the player is doing, the agents are doing, and of course, Sporting is not really happy with this situation. Of course, the way the player is behaving, the way the agents are behaving, and that's the problem. So if Gyökeres doesn't show up in the next couple of days, I think that, of course, maybe he can face a fine, some disciplinary punishment, for example. We don't know that. I think not even Sporting knows that by now. But of course, in terms of the player's point of view, of course, I think he's going to do everything to push for the transfer. We just don't know how not showing up for training can help the deal. That's the big question mark here in Portugal. What the player is expecting by not showing up. If he's expecting the Sporting to agree the deal, I don't think that things are going to be done that way. To be honest,
David, let's talk just cold hard numbers here. What do you sense? What are you hearing in Portugal? What is that magic number that will get this deal over the line? And is there any fear, perhaps, that Arsenal, if they're not prepared to pay that number, they'll just simply walk away?
Well, the number from the last couple of weeks, also the Sporting's president spoke about that publicly. So Sporting wants 80 million, 70 at transfer with a transfer fee, plus 10 million in bonuses. So 80 million euros should be enough to make the deal. The information that we have here in Portugal, and we published that at Record Portugal, is that Arsenal is willing to pay 65 plus 15. So that's the difference of 5 million euros. Sporting wants Arsenal to raise a little bit the initial transfer fee, and maybe, of course, decreasing the amounts on the bonuses. That's where they are now. The strange thing here in Portugal, we are asking the same thing: is why is not Arsenal just offering plus just 5 million euros? Is not a big thing in football. So And I don't know to be honest what's going to happen, because we are speaking 11th of July. We have a lot of days until the transfer window closing, but I don't know. There are other strikers in football, so of course Arsenal can be fed up with this situation and go for another striker. And Gyökeres needs to do another choice for his career. So I think it's going to be interesting days in the next weeks, or until the transfer window closes, of course.
Okay, if this deal were to collapse, David, how might he fancy moving to Manchester United as the next move in his career, potentially?
Good question. We have the information here in Portugal that Gyökeres said no to United 3 times already in this transfer window. Of course, United is a big club. It's not about that, but he wants to play Champions League football. That's the thing. And United is not in the Champions League, so of course he wants Arsenal. But like I said, imagine if things with Arsenal collapse and the player still wants the Premier League and the transfer window is almost closing. If of course United wants a striker, that can be a reality. But by now, the player doesn't want to go to United just because of that Champions League thing. So things can change if the deal with Arsenal collapses, and we know that Arsenal has several targets for the attacking, Sesko and other players. They want Gyökeres as well, but I think that the key here is to understand the patience that Arsenal will have to wait for the player, and then let's see what can happen, because the player wants the Premier League. So if he's not going to play for Arsenal, he can play for another Premier League club. Who knows?